So, let the guessing begin. Is this the person who always says yes, even when the to-do list is a mile long? Is this the one who listens for hours while a friend unloads their crisis, but the second one needs to talk, they suddenly have to run? There's a genuine belief in seeing the good in people, but that belief consistently leaves one feeling drained, resentful, and completely taken for granted. What if this wasn't just bad luck? What if it's a psychological tell being broadcast to the world? A signal that people with manipulative tendencies are expertly wired to detect. Today, the exploration delves into the hidden psychology of why being too nice makes one a target, and more importantly, how that signal can finally be turned off for good. First off, let's clear up a huge myth. Being a people pleaser is not the same as being a kind person. True kindness is a strength, something offered freely. People pleasing, on the other hand, is a defense mechanism. It's born from a fear of being rejected, a desperate need for approval, or just a deep gut-level discomfort with any kind of conflict. Think of it like this: one becomes an emotional chameleon. To keep the peace and ensure everyone likes them, opinions, plans, and even personality are changed to match whoever is present. To the average person, this just seems super accommodating. But to someone with exploitative traits, this behavior flashes like a giant neon sign that says, "Safe target, will not push back." Another key part of this is that nice people tend to assume everyone plays by the same rules. They operate from a place of fairness and honesty, so they expect others to do the same. The world is seen through a lens of integrity. But this noble worldview creates a massive blind spot. It keeps one from realizing that some people have a totally different playbook. One where kindness isn't something to be respected, but a resource to be used up. Make no mistake, this process is rarely an accident. It's a calculated hunt. Research shows that people with manipulative traits, what psychologists sometimes call Machiavellianism, or the dark factor of personality, are constantly scanning for specific cues. They're looking for people who are allergic to conflict, apologize for everything, and have a hard time saying no. Essentially, their entire worldview is about putting their own goals first, even if it means using or hurting others to get there. And it's not just a few bad apples. Some studies suggest that in environments with a lot of inequality or corruption, this get-what-you-can mindset becomes more common, creating a social climate where exploitation is more likely to happen. Once a target has been found, a few classic moves are employed. One of the most effective is weaponizing the reciprocity bias. There's a natural instinct to return favors. Manipulators exploit this by starting small, buying coffee, giving a huge compliment, doing a tiny favor. It feels friendly, but it's a strategy. They're creating a sense of debt. So later, when a much bigger, totally unreasonable request is made, there's a subconscious pressure to say yes. The thought is, well, they were so nice, how can one say no? It's emotional blackmail disguised as friendship. Tactics like love bombing are also used, showering intense affection right at the start. One feels incredibly special and seen, so guards are let down. Then, once hooked, the dynamic slowly shifts. They might start isolating from friends and family, saying things like, "They just don't get you like this one does." Before long, there's a dependency on them for validation, and that's the goal: control. They aren't looking for a friend, they are looking for a tool. Living in a constant state of people-pleasing is more than just annoying. It's soul-crushing. It leads to a deep, simmering resentment. There's a feeling of giving everything, but nobody even notices, let alone says thank you. One starts to feel invisible in one's own life, the schedule hijacked by other people's emergencies, with absolutely no time left for oneself. This is especially toxic at work. A boss or colleague might see a heroic willingness to help and instead of rewarding it, just keep piling on. One becomes the go-to person for extra work, late nights, and unfair requests, all because one is the nice one who won't complain. On a deeper level, this can be a trauma response called fawning. For some, when faced with a threat, like an angry boss or a critical parent, The safest strategy wasn't to fight or run, but to appease. The lesson learned was to make oneself as helpful and agreeable as possible to shut down the conflict. The problem is, this coping mechanism becomes the default setting for everything, even when there's no threat at all. This constant self-abandonment demolishes self-worth. There's a genuine belief that one's needs don't matter. What one even wants is forgotten because the focus is so intently on what everyone else wants. The tragic irony is, by trying so desperately to keep relationships with others, the most important one is destroyed, the one with oneself. So, how is the cycle broken? It's not about becoming a jerk. It's about balancing kindness with fierce self-respect. Here are 4 ways to turn off that target signal for good. First, master the pause and the 2-letter word. When someone asks for a favor, the reflex is to say yes. The new reflex is to pause. Take a breath and say, "Let me check the calendar and get back to you." That little bit of space is everything. It lets one move from a gut reaction to a conscious choice. Now one can actually ask, is there time? The energy? Does one even want to do this? If the answer is no, the response is a simple, guilt-free no. A 10-page essay is not owed. No, that can't be made to work is a full sentence. It's not a rejection of them. It's an acceptance of one's own limits. Second, set boundaries that actually work. Boundaries aren't walls to keep people out. They're instructions given to people on how to treat one with respect. Start by noticing where the most drained feelings occur. Is it that friend who only calls to complain? That family member who drops last-minute demands? Once the problem is known, state the boundary calmly and clearly. I love chatting, but there's only 20 minutes today. Or, no more projects can be taken on right now. The real secret? Consistency. People will test boundaries. When they do, one has to hold the line. If not, the lesson taught is that boundaries are ignorable suggestions. Third, become a detective of reciprocity. Start paying attention to the give and take in relationships. Is it a 2-way street or a 1-way street with one doing all the paving? Is one always the one texting first, offering support, making plans? This isn't about keeping score. It's about recognizing patterns. When a relationship is realized to be totally lopsided, a choice presents itself. It can either be addressed, "Hey, a friend to listen would be really appreciated right now," or one can start to emotionally pull back, investing precious energy in people who give as good as they get. Fourth, make people earn trust. Nice people get burned because trust is given away like it's a free sample. They grant people the intimacy and access of a best friend before that person has done anything to deserve it. From now on, slow down. Treat trust as something that is built over time through consistent, respectful actions. Watch what people do, not just what they say. Do their actions line up with their words? Do they respect a no? Do they celebrate wins? Let people show who they are before giving them the power to hurt. Breaking the people-pleasing habit is truly a journey of rediscovery. You're unlearning old patterns that once kept you safe, but are now holding you back from living fully. Remember, the goal isn't to stop being kind or generous. It's to stop bending over backward for everyone else at your own expense. It's about holding on to compassion while fiercely protecting your own energy and worth. And that, my friends, is the ultimate act of self-respect. Now a question for you. Did any of this resonate? Have you ever been told you're too nice or found yourself in these patterns? Share your experiences in the comments below. Your story could be exactly what someone else needs to hear to know they're not alone. If you found this video helpful, give it a like. It really helps more people discover these insights. Share it with someone who might need a reminder about self-worth and healthy boundaries. And if you're passionate about personal growth and self-empowerment, subscribe and ring the bell to join our community. Before you go, check out the video on your screen for more tips on building confidence and living your best life. Thanks for watching. Your journey to self-respect starts now.